in which you believe. Nanak Naam Chardi Kalam Tere Pani Sarbat Tapla. You can open your eyes, guys. Well, so today we are having our topic flavor of faith, right? Janagi, Vishwas, faith, bharosa, blind belief, iska flavor. We should at least try it once, okay? So I'll start my session with a story here that there was once a great scholar of scriptures, right? And he has read a lot of scriptures and he was a great scholar. So he went to a God realized saint, वो एक संत के पास गए, and what he asked that I have read a lot of books, lot of scriptures, and I have done a lot of rituals, but I had not even got my divine experience. I have not seen the light of God. कि मैंने इतने स्क्रिप्चर्स पढ़ लिए हैं, इतना रिचुअल्स किए हैं, बट अभी तक एक्सपीरियंस नहीं हुआ है. Then the saint smiled. He knew where the problem was. He said that what do you have to do? Because the scholar asked it, give me some sadhana, give me something so that I could had my divine experience. Please give me some sadhana. Now what the saint said, he smiled and he said, that you go out, right, and you just lift your hands in the heavens like this and cry out loud for 2 hours for God. अपने हाथ ऊपर ऐसे खड़े करके भगवान की तरफ बाहर जाकर 2 घंटा भगवान के लिए रो. And he was very obedient. He went by and he just do exactly as the same as he was asked. He opened his arms and like this, and in front of Lord he started crying. Unfortunately, after 15 minutes it was raining. ठीक है, 15 मिनट के बाद बहुत बारिश होने लगी and it was pouring. ठीक है, and he was all drenched, his all over his face and all over his body, and all the clothes were soaked, and all everything, his hair was all soaked. And then he kept on being like that for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. So finally he returned, and when he returned, the sage asked, how was your experience? What was your experience? Now what did the scholar replied? He said that I was standing there keeping my arms like this for about 2 hours. From where about 1 hour and 45 minutes I was all drenched, all my face was drenched, and my all clothes were soaked, and so all was my hair, and it was all flowing down, all the water was flowing down, and at the around his feet a puddle was formed, right? And it was like he was feeling so cold. So how, suppose, just imagine yourself a person standing like this in front of like God, and it's heavily raining and it's all been drenched. How will you feel? He said that I feel like I'm a gross fool. मैं पूरा पागल फील लग रहा है, तो ऐसा लग रहा है मैं पूरा पागल हूँ. And now the sage replied that now finally you have got your first spiritual divine experience. He was surprised. The sage said, what is spirituality? It is basically to humble yourself to make way for God. When we believe that I am nothing and he is everything, जब हम ये मान लेते हैं कि हम कुछ है ही नहीं, सब वही है, and by thinking you are a fool, जब आप अपने आप को एक बेवकूफ समझते हैं, हम तो कुछ है ही नहीं, वो है, then this is the first step in this spiritual journey. So because until what you were doing, you were only was having just reading the scriptures, and you were just increasing the pride. by reading scriptures, quotations, verses, right? And this journey begins from this humbleness, from this part where we are nothing. It begins from here. So you have just a step forward towards your journey or spiritual, this spiritual step. You have taken the first step. And what we all are doing, we all are doing devotion, right? We are doing so much devotion, and but we are not there as yet where we have to reach. So what we will do? Will we remain here forever? No. We have to take the further step. Now, if we will understand what is our deficiency, and we have got it that, yeah, right, we are not getting the first step. So now we have to improve it. And we have to prepare for what we are lacking in. So now how we will move forward from here to there? I'll tell you one important spiritual principle today. And this is related to Tulsidas Maharaj Ji from Ramayana. Please keep yourself mute, whosoever you are. Please don't disturb others. It's my request. So I'll tell you one important spiritual principle, and it is related to Tulsidas Maharaj Ji from Ramayana. What he says, जाने बिनु ना होए प्रतीति, बिनु प्रतीति होए ना प्रीति. Means if you do not develop love for God, you do not have faith in God. And if you do not have faith in God, it's because you do not have the knowledge of God. So knowledge will lead to faith, and faith will lead to love. So this is a sequence: knowledge to faith and faith to love. So in order to develop love for God, you must have faith in God. And in order to have faith in God, you must have knowledge of God. So how we will understand this sequence? And so let's understand it through a worldly example, through what we are going through. So once there was a person that went to beach, right? And there, what he saw, there was a person who was standing there, and he was taking a machine over the sand. It was a fine Sunday evening, and he was through his machine, he was just going over through the sand. When asked what is this is called scavenging, right? Usually when people had all they been long there, so usually some people used to leave there some precious things over the beach. So through that machine, he could just identify if he could get something precious that would be valuable for him. So he was doing that, and suddenly he found a ring. He found a ring. Now, when he saw that ring, he said, "This must be around $25." And well, it's at least it covers the expenses, it covers the hourly income of theirs. So he just kept it in the pocket. It's okay, $25. Later on, he went to a goldsmith. And when he went to a goldsmith, he asked, "What is the price of the ring?" Goldsmith had a deep look in it, and he said that, "Oh my God, this is a 22 karat gold Indian ring, and it would cost around $250. Now he was very happy to hear that. He was so thrilled. And after all, because firstly he was thinking it's just a $25 ring. And now he came to know it's a $250 ring. So, okay, he was happy. And then the days passed by. So, and then his uncle came from New York, who was a jeweler. So he just went back to his uncle and asked him, "See, this is a ring, and I want to know the price of the stone embedded on this ring." The uncle had a close look, and he asked if he could value the ring. So when he had a close look, and he said, "Wow, this is a very precious stone. From where did you get it?" So he was surprised. He said, "It's around $250,000. Now see the level of excitement from $25 to $250,000. He was like, and he said, "Oh, come on, uncle. I hope you're not joking with me." And he said, "Why I will joke with you on such a thing that you could even sell it to me for about $200,000. It's that precious." Now he fell in love with it. He fell in love with the ring. Now, if you see the ring, the person, the vision is everything is same, but the love for the ring is increasing. Why? Because I'll tell you now, this is the basic point here, which I was about to tell you about the sequence. Just go through it. When the knowledge was that this ring must be worth $25, right? He was having the love for the ring to this extent. And when he came to know that the ring is $250, his love for the ring also increased to the same extent. And when he came to know that the price of the ring is $250,000, oh my God, his love for the ring also increased to that extent. So are you seeing that how he is getting the as soon as the knowledge is increasing about the value, about the price of about the how much that ring could give to him, his love for the ring also get increased. So now he considered it really precious. So what is the matter here? That everything is same, but when he get the exact knowledge that what the ring could do, what the ring could give him, what the wishes, what the everything, what desires he could fulfill through that single ring, his love for it also get constantly increasing. So in the similar way, so just tell me one thing, for that ring, does he have to do any kirtan? $250,000 ring, $250,000 ring, or he has to do any meditation without with looking at that ring constantly without just battling his eyelid? No. Does he have to just awaken his kundalini through the 7 chakras? No. He has done nothing. What he has done? He just upgraded his knowledge for about the ring. So similarly, when we understand, when we get the true knowledge of the God, when we get it, that who was God, what was God, and what he does for us, and everything we get about him, and what is our relationship with the God, similarly, we also develop love for God like that. And when we know that, when we came to know that he will do everything for us, and we surrender to God, and we develop that love for him. So in order to understand about the relationship of ourselves with the God, you must upgrade your knowledge, you must develop that knowledge, because through that knowledge, this is what Tulsidas Ji is saying, that if you do not know God, you cannot have faith in him. So in order to have faith in God, you must have knowledge of God. Knowledge will lead to faith, and faith will lead to love. In this order, in this sequence, you are about to know that what is God. इस एग्जाम्पल के थ्रू मैंने आपको बताया कि जब उसको उस रिंग की वैल्यू, उस रिंग की प्राइस के बारे में पता चलता गया, when he came to know, when he upgraded his knowledge to that level, he started developing love for that ring. Similarly, जब आपको आपका रिश्ता भगवान के साथ पता चलता है, when you develop that relationship, when you came to know about that relationship with your God, you develop that love for God also. Right now, you don't know about God, so you don't have faith in him. And when you don't have faith in him, how will you develop love for him? So this is the sequence we need to follow, right? And if we appreciate its personality, if we appreciate the personality of God, if we have total faith in God, then that faith will lead to the development of love towards God. And what is the problem right here? We are not having faith in God. हमें भगवान पे विश्वास ही नहीं है, और भगवान पे विश्वास नहीं है तो प्यार कहाँ से होगा? प्यार नहीं है तो फिर हम, that's why we don't believe. Even means what people are doing, people are going to temple and praying in a way like Oh Hanumanji, if my son get all right, I will just give you 5 kg of laddus. If my son gets all right, so if he's gonna get all right, why don't you give right away that laddus? No, no, no. If my son will get all right, so we are not having that faith, because why? We will get loss of that 5 kg laddus. So we are not having faith in God. We don't believe him. We don't love him. We just say if this happens. Suppose there was a person who just went to climbing the mountains or Rockies, which is about 13,000 feet high. It's huge. And when he went to the edge, he just slid down and he was just collapsed with the bush. He was just hanging there, hanging towards, keeping in the hands bush, right? And it was 300 feet fall, and he was hanging in the air, and he was like, then he remembered God. He said, oh God, please save me. When I was small, I went to your temple and prayed to you with my mummy. Please save me. I went when I was young, when I was small, when I was a kid. Please save me today. So luckily, he heard a voice which was down there, and he said, Sitaramji, please save me. Sitaramji said, just leave the bushes and climb, we will catch you. Okay, he luckily got the voice. Now what did the climber said? He said, no, first catch me, then I will just leave the bushes. He's not having faith right here. He's just leaving side because he want first you catch me, then I'll just leave. But what happens? What is the rule of God here? What is the underlying principle here? That first you have to surrender, then you will get the grace. But what we are expecting, we want the results, we want the grace first, and then we surrender. But so when he asked that, why don't you do this? Then God said, we are actually in the dilemma of intellect, that what we should do. So God says, you want bliss, you want knowledge, you want love, and I'm abode of all three. So you come to my shelter, and then I will bless you with it. First you come to me, and then I'll bless. What we say is that first grace us, then we will surrender. So now God says, if I'll save you, if I'll grace you, then what will happen if you will not surrender it afterwards? If you do the cheating? So God's rule is eternal, right? It's like if you want to have the grace, you have to surrender first. This is the rule here. You must have belief, must have faith in God first. Then you must surrender. You can't just have the results first. This is my personal experience also. Like we will get a lot of situations, as you must have read in the content, that there are the things that are tangled up, and God helps us to entangle. We have to believe him. It's a blind belief that we put on him, put on God. That even if we experience something bad, he will save us. It's beyond our expectations, beyond the results. And this is the true belief, true faith you have to do in him. And yet, don't just say that if you're doing devotion, if you're doing devotional practices, that you will not encounter with a lot of problems. Definitely, you will have a lot of problems. You will have issues. You will have to face them. But where it all lies in the faith. I just remember that our son Maharaji, Guru Darshan Das Maharaji, he has written in his own scripture, Yashwanti Niradhar Dham Pehla 1, there's 2 lines I want to say. Bharosa rakh Guru apne te, Bharosa rakh Guru apne te, Karaj jina सवारया कारज चिना सवारया भरोसा रख गुरु अपने पे. Through these lines, Sant Guru Darshan Das Maharaj Ji want to say that you have to keep faith in the God. He is the one who has done, who has helped you doing all of your deeds. So you have to keep faith in him. Seriously, if you will encounter problems, you not see. I've also just learned a few days back that when we bow down to our master, it means total surrender. You have to totally surrender all your worries or everything to God. You have to keep faith in him that he is there to protect us. He will be there. He will help us. So we have to keep faith. And what we have learned through this whole story, that you must have proper knowledge of God. Through knowledge will lead to faith, and faith will lead to love. Now let me elaborate some more points about this flavor of faith here. I hope you all guys have at least should have once, at least should once must taste the flavor of faith. एक बार तो गुरु पे भरोसा करो, एक बारी ता भरोसा करो. Just have to surrender at least once. You have to try it out once for yourself, not for anybody else, not to prove anybody, nothing. It's for your own self. Just do it once. Just try it out once. Try to have faith once, and just have that flavor. Try to have that flavor once. Then you will recognize. You will just see it by yourself. Yeah, really, what we are experiencing, that will be your own divine experience. And it's my personal experience through which I am saying, because I can't say I don't say things that I don't mean it and that I have not experienced. I have seriously experienced this flavor, and that's why I have been given this. And seriously, it's lovely. It takes some guts. I know we at least sometimes get afraid. We get fear of falling down. We get fear of what will happen. But you have to take his name in your heart and just be confident and just wait. You will definitely get your results. And even if you don't get your results, because I have been to that point too also, you have to be patient and keep faith. And definitely you will succeed. So just wait and just have patience and have faith for your right time. So coming towards this flavor of faith, let's have some lovely discussion over it. That God is present everywhere. God is omnipresent. See, we usually thank God daily. Whenever we wake up in the morning, we thank God for this lovely day, for this beautiful morning, and we offer prayers to him. We ask for strength in times of sorrow and despair, and we seek blessings for near and dear ones. Right? We do it because we believe in it. We have faith in him. We believe that there will be a next day. It's all in the belief system. We believe that he is everywhere. He's omnipresent. And let's take another example, that belief in God as a supreme power. That, for example, if you are having an exam, right? So people are just build up their cultural values. Their belief system is so built up that often a child, while going towards his, going through its exam hall, before going to that, he just offered prayers at his home. And then when he just went out to the exam hall, before writing his exam, he just focused for at least 1 minute to go. Thanks to the cultural system, the cultural values that the parents are instilling in them, in these people, in these children, that people, although there are different culture, there are different religions, people are having their own beliefs. Everyone is just having their own habits through which they are just creating that habits through their own beliefs and their cultural values. But still, it's like a belief system we have, right? Now, what he does when he just concentrate and connect with God, that 1 minute before the exam, what does he do through it? He is actually connecting with God. He believed that if he will just chant the name of the Lord in his heart just for a few minutes, he will have that confidence. He will have the confidence that he will get that superpower, and he will just, if there will be some difficulty or anything wrong, God is there to believe in that. So that's why he put everything, all his efforts. Now, here comes a major point. I'll tell you. Some people do, they put all their efforts in their completeness and then rely on God for the final step, for the markup, for the finale step. They do their efforts by own, but they just rely on God for the later step, for the everything. So this is they are accountable for, right? This is very fine, and they are accountable for their own attempts. But there are few people, what they do is they believe to the extent to the God, and they are by reducing their minimal efforts. एक तो वो लोग हैं जो कि पूरा विश्वास डालते हैं अपनी मेहनत पर, दे कंप्लीटली डू देयर ऑन हार्ड वर्क, एंड देन एंड में भगवान से प्रे करते हैं टू कंप्लीट इट, कि चलो दैट फॉर द फाइनल मार्कअप फॉर दैट, राइट? That is perfectly right. It's a belief, it's a correct belief system, because you are believing that yes, I am here, I am accounting my own self on my own ability, and rest I am just leaving to God. That whatever will happen, God is there. That is completely okay. You are accountable for your own attempts. But there are few people, अब कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं, what they do is अपने efforts कम कर देंगे, भगवान पे भरोसा ज्यादा कर देंगे, और तीसरे नंबर एक थर्ड फैक्टर पे बिलीव करेंगे. दे विल स्टार्ट बिलीविंग इन दैट थर्ड फैक्टर, दैट इज लक, कि चलो जो होगा देखा जाएगा, लक है, कोई ना भगवान है, देखा जाएगा. एंड दे आर इग्नोरिंग देयर ओन एबिलिटी. They're ignoring their own ability and just relying only on the God's attempts, and they are not doing their own efforts. They're minimizing it. So what is this? This is misfaith in God. This is misbelieving in Him. This is the negative side of believing in God. This is the negative side of the belief system. It's not a belief system that you think of. You should have a complete faith that He's protecting us. So this is the negative side, and because what is the real term here, what is the reality here is, you should do your own hard work. Because when hard work is combined with the blessings, with the faith in God, hard work combined with the faith in God, it will not only help you to sustain your hard work, but it will also encourage you, and you will get the real peace and happiness through it. So you must do your own hard work, and you should not rely only on God efforts or the luck or anything like that. That okay, everything is just left on the luck or the God, and you have to put on your own efforts. You can't ignore your ability. You can't sit like that and everything will be done by its own. No, you have to do your own efforts. आपको अपना हार्ड वर्क, आपको अपने कर्म भी करने हैं. आप सिर्फ भगवान पर छोड़कर नहीं बैठ सकते या लक पे. So you have to be just aware about your own ability and just perform in that way. So just don't consider this negative system of belief I'm telling you. And there are also some few people who have superstitions, right? Faith versus superstition. So I'll talk you on this topic now. Now, how do you have faith and superstitions? What few people do is, they used to perform wrong deeds, and they said God is with me, everything is fine, and they take the name of the God before doing the wrong deeds and consider it absolutely right, because they have surrendered to the God before doing that deeds. No, आप गलत काम करने से पहले अगर surrender करते हो and then you think that you're doing the right thing, no, this is not right. This is superstition. This is misfaith. This is misbelief you are having. Hold it. You can't hold God accountable for your wrong deeds, especially if you know that you are doing that. God is not responsible for your for your deeds. If you knew them, then what you're doing. See, let me tell you. If you're doing a good deed and you surrender it before doing it, you surrender to God, then it's gonna be have the multiplying effect of it's being successful, because your hard work combined with the faith in God, you will sustain to good work, to the success. Now there are few people who just do the wrong deed, and before doing the wrong deed is surrender. No, दिस इज नॉट डन, दिस इज अ मिस फेथ. आप गलत काम करने से पहले जो है उस पे सरेंडर करते हैं तो वो गलत माना जाएगा, वो विश्वास नहीं होता है. यू मस्ट नो द डिफरेंस कि आप सही काम क्या है, गलत काम क्या है, एंड आप किस पे विश्वास रख रहे हैं, किस पे फेथ दे रहे हैं. So like some people even say कि एक like there is a having a belief, having a faith in a stone that it will absorb the milk by on its own. How's it possible? So this is not the right things we are going through, and this is not even being accessed by being verified with the science. It's not, it's like it's just superstitious belief. So this is not the right way to connect with God. You can't say this thing is happening by its own and it's because God is there, and that's why it's the stone is having its own power and is absorbing the milk that you are just supplying, you are just putting down, you are just giving. So this is not even verified by the science, and please don't believe in the superstitious, please don't believe in this beliefs, because God is not like that. He's internal, he's inside, right? So what is the real thing? Praying to God, offering prayers to God, offering devotional services, the real thing. Asking him for the motivation, asking him for the strength, and respecting the supreme power. Offering, we should offer prayers to God. What will happen if you will start offering prayers to God? It will just calm down the senses, right? And you will just have a sense of relief of duties. You will understand the process very clearly. What's going on, and you should have faith in God because He provides you the strength to perform your duties with utmost respect and sincerity. And what happens that when you just get spiritual, when you just have faith in God, it's a feeling of goodness, a feeling of well-being is developed inside when you have faith in. So respecting, we should respect the supreme power because he is the true force who is carrying out the responsibility. See, this happens when you have the overfaith. When you just have, see, there are few people who just think that everything going around is because of God. It's not us we are doing, it's because of the faith. We start developing this thinking that everything around us is done by the God, even the minus things. We start thinking, that it's him who is carrying out the responsibilities, and the dedication we should have to towards believing him is the real ultimate faith here. So what is the faith? It's the blind belief one should have. So when you will have that knowledge of God and you will have that faith in God, then you will understand that it's actually him who is doing, who is the doer, and we are nothing in front of him. And if we will have developed this feeling, this thinking that we are nothing and he is everything, then you are really your spiritual journey has been then started, and you are in the process of it, and you will understand. So I'll tell you one of the shlok from Bhagavad Gita. I guess it's chapter 15, verse 8. I'm not sure about it. So let's have a shlok from Bhagavad Gita. Shraddhasva tat, shraddhasva nat, moho karashva bho, ज्ञान स्वरूप भगवान आत्मा तवम प्रकृते परे. So what does this shlok says? In this shlok, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, have faith, my son, have faith. Have no delusion about this. Right? And you are the knowledge itself. You are the Lord itself. You are the self. You are beyond nature. तुम्हें विश्वास रखना चाहिए, भरोसा रखना चाहिए. तुम खुद में ज्ञान हो, खुद में भगवान हो, खुद में सब कुछ हो, इस प्रकृति से परे हो. इसके बारे में कोई भ्रम मत रखना, कोई डिल्यूशन मत रखना. सो अगर इफ अ पर्सन, अ मैन अलोन कैन गेन स्पिरिचुअल विजडम, अगर कोई पर्सन अकेला इस मतलब अगर उसके पास फेथ है, मैन ऑफ फेथ, जिस इंसान के पास विश्वास है, वो अकेला स्पिरिचुअल विजडम, आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान की प्राप्ति कर सकता है. अ मैन ऑफ फेथ कैन अलोन हैव spiritual wisdom. And the man who's full of faith, who's fully completely devoted towards it, and he has substituted all the senses, he obtained this knowledge. And when he obtained this knowledge, he get along with the supreme peace. जब एक इंसान विश्वास करता है, पूरा कंप्लीटली इस पे डिवोट करता है, पूरा कंप्लीटली इस पे मानता है, किसको? भगवान को, उसके ऊपर विश्वास रखता है, उसको मानता है, अपनी सारी सेंसेस को हरा देता है. जो आपके सेंसेस हैं, कौन से सेंसेस? काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, अहंकार, lust, anger, attachment, greed, ego. When you just subdue these all senses, and there is also one more sense, mind. It's the biggest of all. It's also a part of this family, of the senses family, where comes a lot of things like jealousy, laziness. A lot of things comes to in this mind. Man. When you just have faith, completely devote towards God and subdue all these senses, then you obtain the knowledge. We were talking about you get, how do you develop love for God? Through faith. And how do you get faith? Through knowledge. And how do you get knowledge? Have faith, completely devote towards God and subdue all these senses. Don't let these senses just play with you, play with your mind. Don't just get entangled into the dilemma of intellect. When you just subdue all this, you obtain the knowledge, and when you obtain the knowledge, you get along with the supreme peace. So this is what we have learning. I always will, if will ask me personally about this flavor of faith and this experience. See, sometimes we usually get frightened, afraid, we get a fear. What if not? Suppose I'm believing in God, but what if not? What if I'm believing in God that this will happen, but what if not, this will not happen? So this required that devotion, that faith, the knowledge. See, whatever knowledge I'm having of God, I don't know how much, but I truly believe in my master. I truly have faith, and then I really develop love for him. And when I had knowledge of him, I had faith in him, and I developed love for him, I seriously not only get love back from him, but also I have seen the results in my materialistic life. So this is what you get when you truly believe, you have faith in your master. You have to obtain that knowledge. You have to subdue all the senses. You have to upgrade your knowledge, that like that person has upgraded for that ring, as I have told you through the example. You have to be open for the God, considering him everything and considering yourself nothing, like that scholar in my examples. So have that flavor of faith once. It's really a very, very lovely experience. And when you will have this, you will need some confidence at that time. I know it's a little bit frightening, a little bit of like you will get anxious, but in the end, trust me, everything will be all right. And but if anything doesn't go as per how you expected, then still you have to keep the faith. This is the key here. You can't be like, oh, I trusted God, nothing happened, I'll not trust him. And there are few people who get everything at the very first instant. Then they also have to be patient when they will receive nothing. So be patient, have faith in God, because it's absolutely on him what he want to give us according to our needs. We can't expect. So have blind belief. This is what the meaning here, faith, in this shlok, in this Bhagavad Gita shlok is being mentioned. That you completely have, you must have the faith, you must have the blind belief. And that through blind belief, through faith, you have to trust on him, irrespective of the expectations, of the results, And if anything will be there, God will come. And if God says, I am there for good, He's an exception. So just okay, just leaving the session, ending our session up to here. And I hope I have delivered the best of my knowledge, my wisdom, my education to you people about what I truly believe, what I truly feel in the flavor of faith. And one Shabad bhajan from my master Sant Lochanda Shandas Maharaj, he always just whenever I just have a fear, whenever I afraid of something, and whenever I had fear, and whenever it's the matter of the faith and the trust on the master, I usually sing or chant this bhajan. I'll just chant here also. जो तुम पे भरोसा करते हैं रब जी, उनका बेड़ा पार होता है. So whosoever just believe and trust in God, he definitely gets succeed. But for that you must have to have faith in God, and for that you have to develop love in God. Okay, then thank you so much for this session. Now I'm ready for the questions. If anybody is there who want to ask any question regarding the topic.
Hi. Thank you so much for this wonderful session, ma'am. And I was just having your words, or you can say I was really a bit puzzled, and it's maybe it's bit of irony, and maybe it's my lack of awareness that I'm not able to understand yet. So I would love to forward the question. I have two questions. That first, I would love to say, as you said that the flavor of faith here, as you one side you said like the people who are believing like putting the pouring the milk over the stones and all the shivlingams and all, or the people who are putting the like something like piece of cloth over the mazars and all. It's maybe the it's some superstition, something like that, or people going, maybe I may maybe it's my misconception. Just I want a clarification from your end, like if people are going to temple and all, if you said like everything is inside us and exists inside us, so shall I consider this a superstition or like a blind faith, or like the what I shall I consider this? That's what I really want your clarification, because here a person who is my Sana Khatun, she's one of my student, and she's also hearing this. So maybe it's all about religious factor can arise from this. I want you to please clarify on this matter. Like, shall I consider this blind faith, or is this something like faith is something that can get result from any way?
Okay. Thank you so much for being in the session. And first of all, let me clarify you. What I have said that a stone milk, it was like that कि कुछ लोग मानते हैं कि कुछ पत्थर अपने आप एब्जॉर्ब कर लेते हैं दूध, तो वो भगवान की वो देन है, बट इट्स नॉट साइंटिफिकली प्रूव. आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट पॉइंट. Considering your point, offering milk to the puja and all this, it's actually, what is it? It's not superstitious. Superstitions is like that how will I say that, कि अगर मैं कुछ गलत भी करूंगा तो भी भगवान मेरे साथ है, वो सुपरस्टिशियस है. जो आप बात कर रहे हैं, व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग इज there are different religion. India is a secular country and we just respect everyone, and we are allowing every religion and every community to do its their own practices in their own way. सो कंसीडरिंग दैट हमारे पास जो डिफरेंट रिलीजन्स हैं, सबके डिफरेंट डिफरेंट प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, ड्यू टू विच जिसकी वजह से सबने अपने अपने हैबिट्स बिल्डअप करी हैं, एंड उसके अकॉर्डिंग सबने अपने अपने इमोशंस सब कुछ कैरी आउट किया है. देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग विद दैट. आप अपने धर्म के अकॉर्डिंग, जो भी आप बॉर्न एंड ब्रॉड अप हुए हो, उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप जो है अपनी प्रैक्टिसेस कर सकते हैं. इट्स लाइक नॉट अ सुपरस्टिशियस, ना ही कोई सुपरस्टिशियस है, क्योंकि ये सबके बिलीव्स हैं, और इन्हीं बिलीफ सिस्टम के ऊपर ही आज जो है people are what they are doing, what they are right now. They are doing this because their parents have instilled this cultural values into them according to the different religion. So there is nothing wrong if people are having different religion, they are having different perspectives. Now considering your next point, the faith. What faith I am talking about is that if you're doing it from any way, you're doing it through the Hindu religion, to the Christian, to the Muslim, through any religion, whatever puja, whatever offering you're doing, right? But it should not lead to the wrong deeds. आप ऐसा तो नहीं कर सकते ना, मेरे धर्म में ये गलत काम करना अलाउड है, अल्लाह कह रहा है, तो मतलब भगवान कह रहा है, तो आप उसमें भगवान को नहीं बोल सकते कि उस वो मेरे साथ है तो मैं ये गलत काम भी कर सकता हूँ, मैं किसी को मार सकता हूँ, भगवान मेरे साथ है। तो आप रॉन्ग डीड्स पे नहीं जा सकते, वो मिस फेथ में आ जाएगा। अब गलत कामों में नहीं जा सकते। तो यहाँ मेरा पॉइंट वो है। अब मैं आपको बात करूं अगर फेथ की, फेथ आती है ट्रू नॉलेज। ट्रू नॉलेज आपको डिफरेंट रिलीजन से सब दे रहे हैं एंड इट्स वर्किंग, इट्स अ सेक्युलर कंट्री, एज आई earlier told you that India is a secular country, we have respective laws and we respect all the religions here, so it's equal community for all. So it's not a bad thing and it's a very great going in our country. So what we have to do is faith in the sense like you should have the true knowledge in your own way and that it does not lead to the misfaith, वो गलत तरीके की तरफ ना लेके जाए। And when what I am faith I am talking about, when you will have a deep understanding of faith of Lord that is inside, वो जब आप हमारे when you will understand that, वो जब आप जानेंगे वो अंदर वाले परमात्मा को through that through the devotional through that practices that we are asking for, राइट। सो जब आप उसके थ्रू जानेंगे तब आप वो अंदर के फ्लेवर ऑफ फेथ को ले पाएंगे। देन यू विल गेट दैट फ्लेवर ऑफ फेथ even if you're not, you are from whatsoever your religion you belong to, if you have faith in God, then even if you will not get anything from out of it and still you are believing him, this is the faith I am talking about. That's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And this is the last question that I would like to forward to you. This is a bit more difficult question to answer, I guess. And I'm picking up from my YouTube fan of you, I guess, and she's asking to me on WhatsApp. So my question is that it's as you said recently, like what comes first? Um, you said the faith means knowledge, but what comes first? The faith in Guru first come first, or Guru comes then the faith comes first, comes next? It's quite puzzling again now, and this is sarcastical, or you can say irony again, or it's contrasting question again, like what comes first? Without faith we can't go to Guru, and without Guru we can't get faith into Guru again. It's really quite difficult to answer, but what is first there?
Okay, I will answer you what
Here,
I
yeah,
believe and
here
what
we can replace God. God means like we talk about God, because there are so many people who do not believe in like gurus and all.
you are
So
just
there is
asking what.
God. There is God also. So they take Allah and God. So like what comes first? Like shall we will have faith first, then we will understand Allah or Vaheguru, then or we will have the Guru first, or like whatever you say, because there is no Guru in other people's life. So that's all of a question.
Okay,
God comes first or faith comes first? Faith से God आता है, God से faith आता है. That's quite puzzling now here.
okay. I'll tell you what I'm getting answer from inside and through my opinion. Okay, मुझे ऐसा लगता है गॉड इज ओमनी प्रेजेंट, गॉड तो है ही है, रब तो भगवान तो है ही है, सब जगह है, बट ये हमारा फेथ है जो हमें उस गॉड पे बिलीव दिलाता है। तो मेरे अकॉर्डिंग फेथ से गॉड मिलता है, बिकॉज ये हमारा फेथ नहीं है इतने सालों से, फ्रॉम लॉर्ड ऑफ फ्रॉम मेनी इयर्स वी आर बिलीविंग टू एन अनसीन फोर्स इज देयर हु इज हैविंग हिज जस्ट हेल्डिंग आउट हिज helping hand towards us. We just chant and we believe that yes we are confident. So this is my faith. So God तो हर जगह है, ये मेरा faith है जो मुझे उस पर बिलीव दिलाता है कि वो है मेरे पास। So it's
So shall
feel
we consider this a blind faith, ma'am?
you should have,
Would this is what there must be blind faith also, right?
you should have a blind belief. This is what
That's that,
written in Bhagavad Gita also.
that's
A
what I
faith
answered.
means
Yeah,
blind
right.
belief.
Yeah, so blind faith is also important.
Blind belief,
Okay,
you could say
fine.
that, blind
Got
faith.
it. Got the answer. Ma'am. Fine. That's what. Okay.
Okay, I hope you're satisfied with my answer. I don't know how was that, but I hope you're
It is quite satisfactory. I was also telling same, but yeah, I wanted from your side because you are managing panel and you really answered very well. Really amazing.
Thank you, sir. That's what I got from inside. It's completely what my opinion, guys. You could have your opinion also. It's blind belief. Here we had lovely questions from Mr. Saurabh Pandey, and I truly admire his sense of activeness. He always put on. on this channel. And thank you, Miss Upasana and Mrs. Upasana, sorry. And yeah, it's a, it's a faith we had in the God that make him available to us. If we don't have faith, गॉड तो रहेगा ना, भगवान तो रहेगा ही रहेगा, तुम मानो या ना मानो, ये तो हमारा फेथ है जो मुझे मान रहा है, हाँ वो है, और हमारा ही फेथ है नहीं है, अब वो तो कल भी था, आज भी है, आगे भी रहेगा. गॉड वॉज ऑल देयर एंड ही इज राइट नाउ, ही विल बी देयर. But it's our faith that will make us believe that he's there, and it's our belief that it's not, that he's not here. So it's like all our faith on our faith. Okay, so anybody else, any other questions? Anybody want to ask about the flavor of faith, or anybody want to share their experience? Anything? Okay, like everybody is just like there are no questions here, so I will have to end up the session here. So it was lovely having you all, and just have faith in God. I will say this in end because He's really omnipresent. वो सब जगह है, and विश्वास, faith ऐसा जो हिले ना, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आ जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए, हिले नहीं, टस से मस नहीं, विश्वास ऐसा, इतना भरोसा, this much of faith and trust you have to put on your God without considering the results. So that's it. That's all for today. So before ending my session, just please close your eyes and chant the name of the Lord in which you believe. नानक नाम चढ़दी कला, तेरे पानी सरबत दा भला. Thank you everyone.